kindergarten teachers. This is Kathy,
Hi, this is Michelle.
and we want to thank you for taking a few minutes to watch these updates. We hope this screencast provides you with information that you need to know without pulling you out of your classroom for a lengthy meeting. Our session outcomes are to recognize opportunities for providing feedback and how it will be used to enhance KRA administration, to understand how KRA will be implemented in the future, to learn more about the standards setting process, interim reports, and timeline for data extraction and analysis, and to complete the process for installing the new iPad profile. So as you know, Johns Hopkins University and the Center for Technology Education has sent out a survey to all kindergarten teachers to provide you with the opportunity to give your honest feedback, both positive comments and/or challenges you encountered. Please take the time to complete this survey so your voice can be heard. In addition, Johns Hopkins CTE will be collecting information from the data managers, who are the local folks who handle the data uploads, class lists, teachers' accounts, and more. The early learning coordinators also had the opportunity to give our feedback. The technology and professional development departments from Johns Hopkins CTE will be conducting focus groups to garner additional information. Also, all calls to the help desk will be analyzed and looked at how these issues were resolved and how quickly. And finally, MSDE will meet with the Maryland State Educator Association to share the results from these sources.
Maryland and Ohio's implementation of KRA has ignited national interest in the improvement of kindergarten readiness assessment. There are 6 other states, along with Maryland, in the consortium of who will utilize KRA and also develop early learning assessment tasks for children ages 36 to 72 months. During the 2016-2017 school year, Connecticut will implement KRA statewide. Additionally, both Nevada and Indiana will be participating, with schools voluntarily signing on during the first year. With KRA being a new assessment system and the feedback being collected, there will be changes made in response to areas of need. There will be different versions of the test than which was used this year in the years to come. This is similar to the Apple operating system updates that occur. The first year of the KRA administration, being referred to as Census Administration 1, was KRA version 1.0. Next year, in the 2015-2016 school year, KRA version 1.5 will be implemented, reflective of the changes made based on feedback provided. Additionally, in 2016-2017, KRA version 2.0 will be administered.
WestEd is in the process now of analyzing all the data from Maryland and Ohio and will be determining the standards and metrics. They will determine the cutoff scores for each category of readiness. While we don't know exactly what they will be called, it will be similar to MMSR. Currently, the thinking is that it could be demonstrating readiness, which is consistent with skills and knowledge of pre-K standards, developing readiness, where some inconsistencies exist but generally on the right track, and needs support where large gaps exist.
We know many of you are interested in being able to use the data collected through KRA, and we are too. The interim reports were designed as a way to initially begin that process. However, they do not contain the standards which will be used to determine different readiness levels. The data presented is in raw form. It is a breakdown by strand within a domain of learning to show the number of points a student earned out of the total number of points possible in that area. Because there is no key, standards for readiness expectations, or information provided at this time on interpreting the data further, we do not recommend printing them. The good news is, once the standard setting process occurs this year, it will allow for more timely data analysis in subsequent years of KRA administration.
So here's what to expect over the coming months. Data is being extracted and analyzed by WestEd during late December and January. Statewide and jurisdictional data will be reported at the state board meeting in late March, and local data will be shared in April. Also, as Michelle said, a parent report will be available once those standard expectations are set. It will be similar to the MMSR profile. And now Layla will walk you through installing the new iPad profile.
Hi, so what I'm going to do today is I'm going to walk through installing your own Apple ID to your iPad, giving you more freedom to update apps, not worry about county passwords, and to be able to download free apps on your own. The first thing I want to do though is I want to back up photos and videos that you currently have on your iPad. The way you're going to do that is you're going to go to your Google folder. Once again, at any time, if there are several boxes asking you for purchases.apple password and it just keeps popping up and popping up and popping up, my advice would be to turn off, completely shut off your iPad. So at the top of your iPad, top right hand side, there's a button. Press that button until you see slide to shut off, and turn it back on again. Typically that will stop that from happening. To back up my photos and or videos on my iPad, I'm going to go to my Google folder and I'm going to go into Drive. If you have not signed into Drive yet, this is what it's going to look like. So I'm going to click sign in here at the bottom of the screen, and I'm going to put my email, password, and that you use. So first dot last name and the password that you use. So I'm going to sign in. The next thing I'm going to do, so what ends up popping up, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to click the plus sign in the top right hand corner. I'm going to upload photos or videos, and it's going to say, typically it's going to say, do you allow your Drive to access your photos and videos? And the answer is yes. So then what you want to do is select whatever photos that you want to upload into your Drive, and you can select them all, you can select some, and then you're going to click the blue check mark. Once you click the blue check mark, then those items will upload, and for some reason it's saying that these have failed to upload. Oh, because what happened was, if you look at the top, my Wi-Fi has come off, so there's no lines at the top. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to press my home button. I'm going to go to my settings. I'm going to go to Wi-Fi, and I'm going to click FCPS guest. Now you can see next to the word iPad is that little triangle. That means my Wi-Fi is on. I'm going to go back to my home screen, back to my Drive, and upload those images again. So I'm going to hit the plus sign, upload photos or videos, upload the photos that I want, and click the blue button, and now it'll say uploading. I'm going to click my home button. Now what I'm going to do, so now we've backed everything up. The next thing we want to do is we want to erase all content and settings that are on this iPad. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to go to settings, and from settings we're going to go to general. So we've gone settings and then general. We're going to scroll down to the reset button. So here is reset. From reset, we are going to erase all content and settings. So once we erase all content and settings, it asks you to enter in your restrictions passcode. Your restrictions passcode is 0284. This will delete all media and data, and you want to erase. And we're going to go ahead and erase. Now, this is going to take a few minutes. Okay, so now what we've done is we have erased everything from this iPad, and this iPad is a brand new iPad. So what we're going to do is go ahead and slide to set up. We're going to choose English as our language. We're going to choose the United States as our country. It's all the way down at the bottom. We're going to choose our network as FCPS guest. And then it states that it may take a few minutes. Okay, this says your Apple cannot be activated because the activation server cannot be reached. So we're going to try again. All right, we are going to disable location services. At the moment, we can change that later if we want to. We're going to set up as a new iPad, and we're going to sign in with our Apple ID. Click Next. So we have our terms and conditions. We're going to click Agree down at the bottom, and we're going to click Agree again. And then it says it may take a few minutes to set up your iPad. Okay, so we can use iCloud. We set it up on our last one. Actually, we're going to not use iCloud at the moment. We're going to create a passcode. I'm just going to create a generic one at the moment for this teacher. Diagnostics, that will automatically send to Apple, that's fine. Share with app developers is fine. And then it says, welcome to iPad, get started. So now this iPad has all of just the original apps on it. And what we want to do is we want to pull all the apps that were on it before from our data mobile device management system called Meraki. What we're going to do that is we're going to click on Safari. At the top of the screen, we're going to type in m.Meraki, meraki.com, and click Go. Now, once that happens, this screen comes up where it says enter your network ID. Our network ID is 079-296-3055, and I'm going to click register. It's downloading profile, and it's going to say install profile, and we want to install. Enter in that passcode that you just created, install, install, trust. Profile installed, done. So it says registration complete, look for the device in dashboard. Now that's for me, pretty much. And so it says sign into iTunes to allow iOSmeraki.com to manage and install apps. So I'm going to click sign in. I'm going to use existing Apple ID. That's the one that you created. And I'm going to enter in the Apple ID of this teacher. So once I enter in this information, it says app installation. Sign into iTunes to manage and install apps. So I'm going to click sign in using the existing Apple ID. Click OK. All right, so it continues to ask me for this app installation. So I'm going to go to cancel actually. I'm going to go to my home screen. Okay, so this is where we're having difficulties with a screen always popping up. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and press the off button up here in the top right hand corner. And I'm going to slide to power off. Once it's powered off, leave it off for just a few minutes. See the circle? We want to make sure that that circle is not spinning. All right, and then we can turn it back on again. Machine back on. We're going to go ahead and slide to unlock, enter in that password that we just gave, and we're going to go to iTunes and log in, because that's going to make things a little bit easier and we won't get that pop-up coming. So we're in iTunes. I'm going to scroll down to the bottom, and you'll see all the way down at the bottom a button that says sign in. So it says sign in, and I'm going to use existing Apple ID. Click OK. It says this Apple ID has not been used in the iTunes Store, so we need to review to sign in. So what we're going to do, this is what they were asking us to do previously, but then it was not giving us the choice to select none as a payment option. So I decided just to wait. So I just clicked next for the United States. I click agree for account settings, click agree. Then you're given the option for your payment to be none. So I'm just going to scroll down and click next. Okay, so it says that there are a few fields. So title, it's asking for a title, and I'll just put Miss. And then it's asking for a phone number, and I will put FCPS's phone number. Click next. So now your Apple ID has been successfully created. And so it says sign into the iTunes Store. Use your Apple ID password. All right, so now I am signed into the iTunes Store. I'm going to look to see my device management is here. Great. And now what I'm waiting for is I'm waiting for the mobile device management system to download their apps onto this machine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back through the steps for Meraki. So I clicked Safari again. I clicked Install Profile, put your passcode, clicked Install. So it's installing Profile again. You're going to trust the remote management. And then click Done. So registration is complete. Look for device in dashboard. So now it says app installation is about to install manage app. You want to install. So I'm going to go to my home screen. And now this app installation pop-up, you want to hit install every time you see it. This is going to, it says edit home screen, you can just dismiss that. You want to, because you're giving permission for all of the apps to come and be pushed down to your iPad through Meraki. So we do have about 70 apps, and you just want to keep clicking install until they're all loaded. You are able then to organize these into folders just by holding down on the apps and wait until they wiggle and then drag them on top of one another. So these are just bookmarks, so I can take Discovery and put them over there. And so you can organize these apps any way you want, and when you're finished, just click the home button. All right, the next thing I did want to show you was sometimes we will find apps that we think are good for kindergarten, and we will push them out. If your iPad is not on, then it won't send you a notification stating that this app, asking you if you can download this app, because every time we push one out, it asks you. That's the reason why we had to press install so many times. Now, for some reason, if at some point in time we push out an app and your iPad is not on to ask that question, and you hear from somebody else or we send you an email that has happened, all you have to do is click this Meraki MDM app here. Turn on location services. We're going to go ahead and go to settings. We are going to turn on our location services for Meraki. So click OK. We're going to turn this location settings on, and we're going to have our location services always on for Meraki. So I'm going to go back to Meraki, and if you look down at the bottom of your screen, you have status, and for your status it should say enrolled in KRA, and then down at the bottom you have what's called a managed app button. So we go to managed apps here. Once you click managed apps, it says loading managed applications. Now, it will say that these apps, 67 of them have been installed, and one is missing. So if we push out one, that you may not have been, your iPad has not been on to ask for that permission to install, it would be in this managed apps part. And it would be in the missing, and you can just come over here and click the plus sign, and it'll say, are you sure you want to install that? You're gonna click OK. And then it says Drawing with Carl Free, install will commence shortly, and you click OK. Once it's installed, it will move from missing down to installed, and you'll be good to go. I hope that this little tutorial has helped. If you have any questions, please feel free to email me at Layla, L-A-I-L-A, Watkins, W-A-T-K-I-N-S, @fcps.org. Thank you.